Yes. Yes. And our dear Devdasi, Rosi, Gavi,
Yes.
and Alicia. Wonderful. Well,
Jai Satchidananda.
yes.
Satchidananda.
So on the 7th of January of 2023, we're going on with the next satsang on Purnatva, the completion of the self, S capital. And let us begin with the three mantra. Huh? All right.
Bueno, hoy sábado 7 de enero de 2023 vamos a continuar con el entendimiento de la completitud del ser y vamos a cantar el trimantra.
Yes, and so, all right, Laura, let's have you sing the three mantra, my dear.
Yes. Can you listen me?
Yes, we can. Yeah, we can hear you. Are you in India?
Yes, I am in India yet.
Wonderful.
Until this Friday, yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Yes.
Namo Vitaragaya, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loe Sabasahunam, Eso Pantanamukaro, Sabapapapana Mangala Ananta Sabesin Padamahabhai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchitanam. Namo Vitaragaya. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam. Namo Vasayanam. Namo Loe Sabasahunam. Eso Pantanamukaro Sabapavapanasano Mangalanam Cha Sabesin Padamahavai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchitanam. Namo Vitaragaya. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam. Namo Vasayanam. Namo Loe Sabasahunam. Esho Panchanamukaro Sabapavapanasano Mangalanam Cha Sabesin Padamang Habai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchitanam. Jai Satchitanam. Jai Satchitanam. Jai Satchitanam.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Jai Satchitanam.
Yeah,
Jai Satchitanam.
Jai Satchitanam. All right. So in the last session, we were in the 9th session, and today is the 10th session. We are on Purnatva, and we are on page 23 of our Gujarati magazine, Akram Vignan magazine, and we know, like if you look in the chat, we will see that we covered these three headings. One was see the duality of the right, wrong, right, dash, wrong, see the duality. And the second one was that which was filled in the last life will definitely empty, will come out. And the third part which we began was, these are the situations. So these are the times when the Jagruti, the awareness of the self gets veiled. The awareness gets veiled. A cover comes over the Jagruti. Thank you, Marcella, for translating. Okay.
Bueno, vamos en esta sesión número 10. Ya estuvimos viendo ver la dualidad de lo correcto y de lo erróneo. Y lo que se llenó, otro título es todo lo que se llenó en otra vida se vaciará en esta. Y el tercero es que la conciencia del ser Purushart, el Jagruti está velado.
So the questioner is asking Dada, that discharge kashaya, how will it come out, Dada? So Dadashri says, if you stir it up, if it is instigated, if you light a match under it, it will come out. You see, somebody lights a match under you, it will come out. You see?
La pregunta que le hacen a Dada es ¿cómo saldrá esta descarga? Y Dada dice, si eres instigado, esto va a salir de forma natural, es como encender en un fósforo.
Yes. So the Dadashri in the question says, you mean when others instigate me? And the Dadashri says, if anyone instigates, you see, if this person sitting next to you, instigates, provokes you, then the kashaya that is inside you will come out. All you need is a provocateur, somebody who provokes something, provocateur.
Entonces dice Dada que aunque otras personas me instiguen o me provoquen, el kashaya saldrá. Solo lo que necesitamos es la provocación.
So, so the questioner says, he may provoke, but should I not get my awareness? Should my awareness as a Mahatma not be there?
Entonces le preguntan, dice, pero si alguien me provoca, ¿no debe prevalecer mi conciencia como Mahatma allí?
And so the other Shri says, it is when you suffer, the one who suffers will realize it, is it not? And then with that suffering, the awareness comes. And you can also know when the suffering started, and you can also know when your bliss became covered up. You can also know that when your bliss became covered up.
Dada dice, el que sufre se dará cuenta, vendrá la conciencia, el que sufre se dará cuenta y la conciencia vendrá. Entonces, cuando empieza, te vas a dar cuenta cuando empezó el sufrimiento. Y cuando estás en sufrimiento, la dicha se cubre.
Yeah, you see the veiling of the veiled gets veiled ways up. So there is the self-bliss is a very important thing. And when each one of us right now is in the bliss of our self. Potano sukh. Poto, pote, I, the original I, main I. Not the worldly I, not the relative I, but the main I. When the bliss of the main I gets a little covered, then you will know it, would you not? And that which wills your bliss now, or my bliss, is is a little suffering that started when somebody provoked you see, provoked you, instigated you.
Yes. Em, cuando el velo surge, dejamos de estar en la dicha del ser. Nosotros ahora estamos todos bajo la dicha del ser, pero es el yo verdadero el que está ahí, no el relativo. Entonces cuando está cubierto no veremos. Y esto sucede cuando alguien nos provoca.
So the Mahatma says, Dada, yes, the burning starts inside, burning. But, he's just saying that. And Dadashri says, no. That is not called burning. So now, you see, another new definition comes in for our Akram Vignan. And Dadashri says that is not called burning, you see. Burning is something totally different. This is suffocation. This is a little suffocation only. You do not see which way, you do not see the clear outlet to take a nice breath, you see. You know what I mean? And he is using these Gujarati words, gungadaman, suffocation, but he does use the word, English word, suffocation. So it is suffocation, it is not burning.
Entonces le preguntan a Dada, y entonces él empieza uno a quemarse, y Dada dice, no, esto no es quemarse, no, es ni fuego, esto es totalmente diferente, es sofocación solamente.
It's a little, as if somebody has placed, a little close so over your nose and mouth, so you get a little suffocation. But so there's nothing, you have beautiful ability to get the air in and out, right? So slight suffocation. It is not burning. Burning is a very dangerous word, If somebody insults you in the middle of a lot of people, Gabi or Laura, before the Gnanvidi, you would get, your face will fall down, you will be burning inside, you see. But now, it doesn't happen. Now there's just a little suffocation until the light of the self comes out, just like the clouds moving away, you see, and the sunlight is there.
Antes, la sofocación es como taparse la cara, ¿no? Donde va a costar un poco respirar, pero sí lo vas a poder hacer. Y esto es momentáneo. Quemado es una palabra peligrosa. Y si alguien, por ejemplo, si antes te caías y te quemabas, antes del Gnanvidi, ahora solo te sofocas.
So the questioner is saying, yes, that suffocation comes to a certain level, and the suffocation sometimes is prolonged, or goes to an extreme level, and then he comes back, does he not? What I'm trying to say, the questioner says, is if there are little instigations going on here and there, little provocations going on, why does Jagruti or awareness doesn't come, that eo swama pura, this is vyavasthit.
La sofocación surge hasta cierto nivel y luego vemos que porque el Jagruti en ese momento viene y volvemos a entrar en el ser.
Yes, yes, but he says the question is on little things that are going on from morning till evening, where there are provocations, instigations. Why does not this awareness come, Dada?
Entonces, si hay provocaciones de la mañana hasta la noche, ¿por qué no viene esta conciencia?
And Dadashri says, yes, on little things, the awareness will not come, you see. Like from
Entonces,
what
Dada dice, las pequeñas cosas, cuando suceden pequeñas cosas, la conciencia no viene.
like from morning till evening, you're busy, something or the other is happening, you are a little suffocated, you in the old days you'd be upset, and what they use the word stressed. In the old days you would be stressed, but now you just feel suffocated, you see, suffocated, in other words, just not clear, you see. But so why should not I have the awareness at that time, Dada? And Dada, she says, you're right, it will not come, you see. However, in the presence of Gnani Purush, all of that will go away. All of this will go away.
Yes. Antes, ahora sufrimos sofocación en esos momentos, pero antes lo que había es estrés. Ahora solo sofocación, y entonces no estamos claros. Entonces le pregunta por qué no tengo la conciencia en esos momentos y solo en la presencia del Gnani Purush está esta conciencia y eso se va.
Yes. So, then, in the presence of Gnani Purush, what are we talking about in presence of Gnani Purush? Now the Gnani Purush is not here, so how are we going to have his presence? What is the answer?
Esto pasa solo en la presencia del Gnani Purush. ¿Qué pasa ahora que no está presente? ¿Qué hacemos?
Yeah, so what's the answer? Yes, Laura, what's the answer? In the presence of Gnani Purush, it goes away, but Gnani Purush is not present. So then how can it go away, Laura?
Laura, si el
Shuddha. Repeat. Oh, what happened? If the Gnani Purush is not present? Yeah. I don't know, because there is another Gnani and we are Vishuddhatma. No?
Yeah. Yes, the answer is correct. In other words, when the Gnani Purush is not present, he's always, this Gnani Purush Dada, and he's not talking about his physical presence. He says, I am the 5 agnas. So I'm present when you apply any one of the agnas. You see? Okay.
Yes. Laura dice, bueno, que el Gnani Purush no está y ella sabe que somos Shuddhatma. Y dice Dada que el Gnani Purush no está hablando de la presencia física, porque Dada dice que él es las agnas. Entonces, cuando estamos en las agnas, estamos en presencia de Dada.
So we continue on page 24, the Janma Jayanti issue of Gnani Purush Dadashri in 1988. The questioner is asking, yes, but until the extreme limit of the suffocation does not come, there is a certain time period in which this is very subtle satsang going on, important. Somebody, you get some bad news, somebody obstructs you, somebody insults you, something painful happens to file one. Until the time comes, the suffocation continues and it comes to an extreme limit, and then the jagruti comes, you see, the light of the self comes. So until that time, Dada, until that time comes, Dada, and Dadashri says, yes, that is how it's going to be, you see. Until
Yes.
the extreme of the suffocation, you see.
Esto es de San Mayanti de 1998. Y habla, dice que la sofocación llega hasta el límite. Y esto sucede por recibir malas noticias, por tener provocaciones, insultos o lo que fuese. Y continúa, y continúa hasta un extremo y luego surge el Jagruti. Y Dada dice así será hasta que llegue ese momento, hasta que llegue el Jagruti.
So then the question is they're asking, the questioner is now asking, there, what kind of jagruti should be there? You see, in this such a situation where the suffocation is going on within Laura, or Rose. See, what until the jagruti comes, what kind of jagruti should be there? Still the jagruti has not kicked in. There is a suffering of a kashaya reaction, and then the suffering is now defined by Dada as a suffocation, you see, as a suffocation, and then the jagruti comes and then everything is fine. But the person wants to know, until it reaches its peak, what kind of awareness should there be?
Le preguntan, ¿qué clase de Jagruti hay mientras que está sucediendo la sofocación? ¿No? Mientras que está sucediendo la reacción de los kashayas. Este sufrimiento de sofocación existe y luego viene el Jagruti. Pero ¿qué clase de Jagruti hay ahí mientras que está sucediendo la sofocación?
So he says, what kind of jagruti should be there, Dada, while the suffocation is in process? While the suffocation is in process. Very important. Listen to the answer of Dada now. The answer is coming up. Okay?
¿Qué clase de Jagruti debe de haber allí para que mientras que la sofocación esté en proceso? Y ahora viene una respuesta que tenemos que prestar atención, que es importante.
And Dadashri replies, their Jagruti cannot be present, you see. Their Jagruti cannot be present. Where kashaya arises, where kashaya awakens, there is no Jagruti. This is a very important sentence of Dada.
Dice Dada que el Jagruti no estará presente mientras que los kashais estén presentes. Y son palabras de Dada muy, muy importantes.
And Dadashri says, where there is the influence of kashaya, where there is the influence of kashaya, there cannot be awareness. Can there be? You see? Huh? There is zero, absolutely no Jagruti there where the kashaya and its influence has taken over.
Dada dice, desde donde está la influencia de los kashais no puede existir la conciencia o el jagruti.
Yes, it's simply not there. You see? Absolute, even tiny Jagruti is not there, you know.
En ningún momento puede estar el jagruti ahí, mientras que estén los kashais.
So the questioner is still asking, my friends. He says, so during that time when the suffocation is going on, not suffering, yes, suffering of the kind which causes a lot of burning, burns you up, burns others, you know, not that kind of suffering, but as if you just can't see any, you just don't know what to do, you see, or you get confused, suffocated, you know. During that time, Dada, during that time, what kind of Jagruti should be there? Again and again the questioner is asking.
Yes. Y dice que en el momento de la sofocación, donde también te quemas a vos mismo y a otros no puedes ver y no sabes qué hacer, hay como confusión. Entonces vuelve a preguntar durante ese tiempo qué Jagruti tiene que haber allí.
So Dadashri replies. Dadashri, what does he say? He says, when the influence, amal, influence, when the influence of those kashayas come down and complete, then the Jagruti is there, you see. That influence may be of 1 hour, 2 hours, or sometimes it may be 6 months.
Oh. Dada dice que cuando la influencia, la mal de esos kashais caen, el Jagruti vendrá. Y esto puede durar horas o puede durar 6 meses.
Yeah, okay. Now I've just given you a quick translation of this particular heading. And
Les voy a dar una traducción particular de este encabezamiento.
What do we learn? You see? What do we learn? You know, we learn a new term called burning, or otherwise known as badatra, burning. You see, burning, badatra. Badeche, it's burning, Dada. When, you know, I'm burning, and that is where the word, Dada has used the word, this entire world of ours is burning in the fire. You see, is something or the other is always causing inner burning. You see, this burning is happening due to one kashaya after the other, or one kashaya with another one joined, going on all the time. It causes a lot of burning, and it destroys a human being from inside. You see?
Yes. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que hemos aprendido? Y hemos aprendido un término nuevo que es quemando. Y el mundo entero se está quemando y se está quemando en el fuego. Y siempre que surge un kashaya y después surge otro, esto causa la destrucción interior, la destrucción interior, sí.
And he says, which is very important, Mara Mahatma one, in my Mahatmas, the burning is gone. No burning. It is only periodic, intermittent confusion, suffocation due to the discharge kashaya that has awakened, the kashaya that has awakened in discharge. It was there, it was meant to light up, and it was meant to happen, and in that happening, it transiently, for a short time only, confuses the Mahatma.
Para nosotros los Mahatmas, no nos quemamos, nos sofocamos. Y esto sucede en periodos intermitentes cuando los kashais están en descarga. Y, y entonces lo que produce es que provoca confusión.
We also learn, my friends, that once a kashaya awakens, Dadashri, let me look at the exact word there. Dadashri says that once a kashaya awakens, then the suffocation will begin, and you cannot stop. The suffocation has to come to its natural end, and then the Jagruti comes. With the Jagruti, it cannot be stopped. The awakening of the kashaya here means that you, the awakened one, Mahatma, have entered into the kashaya. You touch that fire. You touch that fire, you see. If you don't touch the fire, you cannot get burned. So awakening of the kashaya means to say, oh, I'm suffering. I don't know what to do. I hate it. I'm stressed. All of those things that are going on. You and I are never going to say this anymore. You're going to pause and see what is happening in Laura, Gabi, Devdasi, Gonzalo. You're going to see what is happening. I'm jumping further, but I just want to know, I want you to know that once the kashaya awakens means now the kashaya is active. The Jagruti cannot be there. The two cannot coexist together.
Yes. Cuando el kashaya se despierta, la sofocación vendrá y no la puedes parar. Y va a suceder hasta que termine. Y entonces viene el Jagruti. Cuando los kashai se despiertan, entramos en el kashai y tocamos el fuego y nos quemamos. Y entonces decimos, oh, estoy sufriendo. Y dice que hay que pausar y ver qué es lo que está sucediendo en Laura, en todos, en el archivo 1. Y es como que mientras que esté activo el kashaya, el jagruti no puede coexistir con él.
Yeah, you and I don't need to know to be reminded of this word, the influence of kashaya. When you become angry, or when you seemingly explode, you see, the matter is over after a little while for everybody around, and it's going on inside, and that is the burning, and that burning is associated with the tato. You see, the tato. In other words, this tato does not exist in. We talked about tato, the link. This tato is not there, and nor is the violent intent in the Mahatma who just exploded, you see. And so there is a sense of suffocation, Suffocation is defined as absence of the, not absence, wailing of the bliss over the self, the wailing over the bliss of the bliss over the self, you see. Just a transient wailing.
Como que cuando la influencia de los kashais, por ejemplo, cuando estamos en ira, la gente lo puede ver, pero la ira se mantiene dentro. Y esto está asociado con Tato, que lo vimos, y es el link. Y para nosotros los Mahatma ya no está más el link allí. Entonces lo que produce es una sensación de sofocación. Y esto sucede no por ausencia, sino porque está velada la dicha del ser. Esto lo que produce la sofocación es velar el ser.
Yes. You see, burning is a very strong word. That I'm burning. I am so upset. This is dvesh. Burning means dvesh, real dvesh. You see, it is associated with violent intent, and tato, which we have covered in our previous sessions, you see.
El estar enojado o estar quemado son palabras muy fuertes y esto está relacionado con el dvish y son intentos violentos.
Yes, dear Laura. Laura?
Yes. I have a question because sometimes I can see as Laura is anger, for example, but I am in Jagruti because I can see what Laura is anger and is have this intent or hard or that. So I am confused, but because the Jagruti is there and the kashaya is there, but I am separate, yeah, a bit.
Yes.
So,
And so
I don't know how to understand that.
No. Yes, you're right.
Sorry, I say it in Spanish, yeah.
Please, sí.
I say it in Spanish, yeah, please. Ya, lo que le digo a Sudha es que lo quiero entender mejor porque a veces yo puedo ver cómo Laura está enfadada, ¿no? Entonces está la conciencia y está Laura enfadada, está el kashaya en Laura. Entonces no entiendo bien el punto del que habla Dada de que si hay kashaya no puede haber conciencia.
Yes.
Sudha, please.
Gracias.
Good. Yeah, that's a good observation, and that is true. There are two answers here. This material that we are reading is very subtle and very new for us. It's been there for a long time. But you see, this material of Dada that we are reading it could be two interpretations. One is with reference to Jagruti, you see. This is the Jagruti means awareness. It's the same awareness, except one is what causes burning. You see, one Jagruti burns you up because that awareness is, I also Laura, I am Laura. And how dare she or he do this to me? Or he did it to me. So there is a total immersion into I am this body, you see, and I'm Laura or I'm Gabi, you see. That awareness is what has now shifted to Swayamapura. You see, that awareness. And that awareness, Dadashri says, is continuous. It's forever present now. This is the new awareness. But Dada is somehow trying to explain the kashayas that happen after this shift in awareness in the Gnan Vidhi, you see, we have all experienced suffocation, you see. So the word suffocation and the use of the sentence veiling of the bliss over the self, you see, veiling of the bliss over the self, these are very subtle words. Everybody, you and I understand suffocation. What we do not understand in very subtle precision is the veiling, the curtain coming over the bliss of the self, you see. So it could really be that Dada is talking at a very high level here, you see. Go on. Yeah.
Muy buena pregunta, Laura, dice Shuddha, y para esto hay dos respuestas, ¿no? Y este material que estamos viendo es como muy nuevo. Entonces uno hace referencia al Jagruti. El Jagruti es la conciencia. Entonces hay una causa por la que me quemo, y me quemo cuando soy Laura. Y creo que soy este cuerpo y pienso, bueno, ¿cómo es capaz de decirme esto o hacerme esto? Entonces estoy inmersa en el cuerpo de Laura o de cualquiera de nosotros. Ese conocimiento fue removido con el conocimiento del alma pura. Ese conocimiento continúa para siempre, y explica después que después del Gnani está la sofocación, que eso lo entendemos, pero lo que es más sutil para entender, que lo estamos viendo ahora, que durante ese momento que existe la sofocación, se vela la dicha del ser. Y esto es lo que el nuevo entendimiento, ¿no? Sobre que no entendemos bien, que estamos velando la dicha del ser, y es un conocimiento muy elevado.
And, in answer to our question, and by the way, also it is so very true what you're describing, you see, that which has awakened as a total component of our own self-realization or awakening from the pains of this world, you see, this Swayamapura, Shuddhatma, you see, that is it, that is forever, and that is unshakable, cannot be removed, you see. So that awakening is there 100%, you see. But in practice, in practical terms, in life. For a Mahatma, it is equated to be 15%, you see, 15% awakening, you know. The conviction is 100%, the experience is 2%, and 15% cannot become 14% or 13% or 6%. It is 15% awareness, you see. And what Laura is describing is a manifestation of her Gnan Jagruti, otherwise her own Jagruti and her own light, that has her own prajna, that has now gone much more than 15%, you see. And that is happening to all of us. The longer we are in this Gnan, as we go through these files of life, you see, with equanimity, the Jagruti that rises, you see, the Jagruti rises. And that is why you can see Laura in discharge kashayas, Laura getting upset, but you're fine, you see. So that is correct too. And that answer of yours that you've asked is coming in the next section, you see, as we are discussing this. It's true, very true. All of us, before we used to be just, we used to get very upset. And now we can see this friend of ours, Shuddha for me, Gabi for you, Grace for you, you see, Laura for you, your friend, still getting upset, but not burning, you see. Still getting upset, but not burning. Go on.
Yes. También es cierto lo que dijiste, Laura, y esto tiene que ver con tu propia realización, ¿no? Con tu propio conocimiento. Y sabés que sos alma pura, lo tenés, y esto no se puede remover, no puede ser quitado de ti. La conciencia está allí y tenemos práctica, experiencia, y la experiencia que tenemos es de un 10%, pero esto muestra que la experiencia va creciendo. Tu experiencia, por lo que comentaste, es una manifestación de tu Gnan, de tu Jagruti del Gnan. Tu prajna va más allá del 15%. Entonces, cuanto más estamos en el Nan, la ecuanimidad del Jagruti va surgiendo y puedes ver a Laura que está descargando. Y esa respuesta a tu pregunta, todo esto es verdad, y la respuesta a tu pregunta ahora va a venir. Antes nos enojábamos con nuestro firewall, ¿no? Todavía nos enojamos, pero no nos quemamos, pero no se quema.
Yes, very beautiful. So this is the scientific explanation, and then understanding of what happens to a Mahatma after the Gnan Vidhi, you see. The Jagruti is always there. It flashes, you see. And now the prajna, the force, the chain link, the new chain link of Amapura lifts you up into who you are instead of throwing you back into the ocean of suffering, you see. It, and therefore, the suffering is part of the effect of this body complex. Yeah. Even the Gnani Purush has to suffer, but the suffering of a Gnani and the suffering of a Mahatma are different, you see. So we are slowly rising to the level of the Gnan inside us, to our real Gnan inside us. And that is what Laura is describing. It's very strange. I can see Laura being upset, but somehow I'm not affected, and that is the science now working in operation right now, you see.
Esto es un entendimiento científico y esto es lo que les sucede a los Mahatmas después del Gran Viti. El Jagruti solo está allí, es como que flashea, y el Prajna es nuestro nuevo link. Y a quién eres luego de haberte... Y luego de esto, no puede volver a caer, a tirarte en el sufrimiento, porque todo el sufrimiento es parte del complejo del cuerpo. El sufrimiento de un Gnani Purush es diferente al sufrimiento de un Mahatma, pero en este crecimiento de entendimiento, el real Gnan, el real conocimiento, lo puedo ver. Me molesta, puedo ver a Laura molesta, pero también lo veo. Veo a Laura molesta.
Yes.
Should I have a comment? Can I make
Yes, please now. Yes, thank you, Graham. Yes.
I'm wondering that the Jagruti has three main components. It has the knowledge of the self in there, Sat, Chit, and Anand. And it occurs to me that the kashaya cannot veil the Chit component completely. We are always conscious in some way or another. So the Chit cannot be veiled by the kashaya completely, although it may be veiled partially. But what can be veiled completely is the Anand component, the bliss quality. So we can be aware of being annoyed, but we can't ever be happy in that awareness of the anger. The bliss is completely covered, but not the chit.
Excuse me.
Por favor, traduce, Grim.
Estaba haciendo un comentario sobre el Jagruti, que quizá tiene los tres componentes del ser, que son Sat, Chit, Anand, y que el Chit nunca puede ser totalmente cubierto por el kashaya. Somos conscientes siempre. Eso puede ser parcialmente, pero no completamente cubierto. Pero el componente de la dicha sí puede ser cubierto totalmente por los kashayas. Entonces, tenemos una condición donde estamos conscientes de ser en ira, pero no podemos ser felices en esto. No podemos experimentar la dicha.
Yes. You have said it you said it well. The only thing that we need to keep in mind that Sat Chit, S-A-T, and Sat Chit is pure Gnan Darshan. In other words, pure knowledge and vision, you see. And pure knowledge and vision is bliss. So, pure knowledge vision complex is called pure Chit, you see. So, pure Chit is bliss, you see. So, we are given the exact definition of bliss. It's the purity of the knowledge and vision. And the impurity is the effect from past life, you see. So the impurity is the reason why there is burning or suffocation, you see. Still there is some adherence to this is happening to me. I am suffocated. I don't know what to do. So there is a slight, it's the impurity of Gnan Darshan, impurity in discharge, that is the reason for this kashaya reaction. So, for you and I, Graham, the chit has been made absolutely pure. Shuddha Gnan, Shuddha Darshan is Shuddhatma, pure soul. And so that purity cannot be tainted anymore. That purity cannot be tainted anymore. As long as that is held, as long as that is experienced, and that experience initially is intermittent, and then it starts becoming more prevalent, and then finally it prevails, you see, and as Satchitanand Swarup only, you see, total Satchitanand Swarup, which is the self, you see. So we are all, yes, you've said it well, but this purity, with just the only thing, with the only insertion here from is that the pure can never be tainted, and these components of suffering are the residuals of the impurities that are in that laukik or the relative chit, you see, relative chit, you see, that chit that has not yet, quote unquote, come home completely, you see. And that's another way of saying it hasn't come home completely. There is still, yes, you're right. Therefore, you say that it's the same I. It's the same I who was Graham before, is now the same one, is the Shuddhatma Bhagwan or the pure soul. But the same I somehow still touches that which is happening here in the relative, you see. It touches and says, gee, I am, he will say inside, I'm pissed. I am bothered. I am harassed. I wish people would leave me alone. I want to be in my own quiet space. All of that stuff, you see. Okay, go on.
Yeah. La pureza del Satchit es la pureza del conocimiento y la visión, y esa es la dicha, ¿no? La pureza del conocimiento y la visión lo que trae también es la pureza del complejo, es el chit puro, es el chit puro, es dicha. Y con este conocimiento alcanzamos la dicha. La impureza es efecto de la vida pasada, ¿no? Y ahí es donde nos quemamos y sofocamos. Puede ser que salgamos a quemarnos. Esto me pasa a mí, no sé qué hacer. Y estas son impurezas por reacciones de los kashais. El chit puro no puede ser sacado. Siempre primero va a existir la experiencia, después va a ser intermitente y después va a prevalecer permanentemente. Esta pureza no puede ser tentada, quitada, son solo los residuos del chit relativo que todavía no terminó de volver completamente al hogar. Hay un yo que es el ser puro y hay un yo que también toca lo relativo.
Yeah, so it is because this magnificent awareness of the self and as the self has been given to us all of a sudden in our life. You know, we were in all different walks of life, in different fields of doership, you see. And we have been suddenly lifted up into this amazing, we have been purified. We have been purified completely. In other words, the purification is not incomplete for any one of us. The purification is absolute, complete. What is remaining now is this vision of this purity through the five agnas. Through the five agnas. Let the vision of the purity rise through these agnas, you see.
Lo maravilloso del ser es que nos dio las oportunidades de tener todas estas experiencias y ahora que hemos sido elevados, ¿no?, a este maravilloso ser purificado completamente para todos nosotros. Lo que queda es la visión de la pureza a través de las 5 agnas.
Yeah. Do you want to say something more, Graham?
No, I think that was all. I think that I agree what you're saying is that Satchitananda is of course one. It is one thing in reality. It is not experienced as one. It's experienced in a kind of separated way. That's why we have the three terms.
Yeah, Satchitananda. Yeah. Yes, but that one is not something that was ever fragmented, you see. It was
one part of it, the Anand part, the bliss part, becomes veiled.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are saying. You see, what Dada is saying is that you see, this satsang that we are going, yes, and this is same as Laura, what we're saying, you know, this satsang with Dada, we are slowly climbing this magnificent mountain effortlessly, simply by understanding this particular presentation of Purnatva by Niruma. We are still in the early stages of this, you see. So in the early stages, Dadashri says, oh, you know, the suffering is there, but no, first of all, let's define your suffering. It is not burning. Okay, so there Dada has cleared 50% of the problem. Then he says, don't expect the jagruti, the awareness of who you are to come, because the kashaya is now been stirred up. It has been provoked, and it is been stirred up by some factor or the other, and therefore that is the reason why the suffering is there. Dada is, you know, the suffering is there, and where there is jagruti, there is no kashaya. And that is also a fantastic sentence. Where there is the awareness, there is no kashaya, which is your and mine, everybody's experience. For the eo soamapura, there is no kashaya, you see. So, yes, this is a step-by-step, very careful explanation of Dadashri in this man who keeps on saying, how can this discharge kashaya go away? That was the heading. How can the discharge kashaya express? How will the discharge kashaya come out? You see? And you and I think we have in this same series covered that the kashayas have not been destroyed, annihilated. They have gone underground. You see, they have gone into Bhugod. They have, after the Gnanvidhi force, they have kind of hidden inside, deep inside. So when you look, you can't see, but when somebody stirs you up, provokes you, then it will come out. And he is showing he's showing us the exact way in which it is going to happen. He says, and he's saying he's also saying is that in small matters where you and I are getting provoked or stirred up, there is no awareness, which is also our experience. You get stirred up, little things happen, we should be aware, eo somapura, but we're not. And, Dadashri says, yeah, ultimately in the presence of the Gnani Purush, which means in the presence of five agnas, it's all going to go away, you see. So let us, so now let us realize that this... Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I need to translate here.
It's too long. Too long.
I'm sorry. I know. Our Graham will help you also. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Graham. En este satsang de Dada nosotros podemos entender que la dicha, está la pureza, está el conocimiento, está la visión, pero lo que aparece es la dicha velada, ¿no? Y con este satsang de Dada podemos ver sin esfuerzo esta presentación en tiempos tempranos que se hizo, ¿no? Y es como que estamos subiendo esta montaña de este conocimiento, lo estamos haciendo. El kashaya fue provocado y es por eso que el sufrimiento está allí. Y donde hay jagruti no hay kashaya. Y esta es la explicación de Dada, ¿no? Cómo puede ser que le preguntan a Dada cómo puede ser que el kashaya que descarga se exprese, que salga, que se vaya. Y para nosotros es descubrir que entendemos que los kashais después de Nalvidi no desaparecieron, es como que se enterraron, se fueron bajo tierra, como que están escondidos, pero frente a una provocación el kashai surge y nos muestra cómo sucederá y también dice que cuando somos provocados no existe la conciencia y no existe la conciencia del alma pura ni los cinco agnas. Y es por allí, por el alma pura y por los cinco agnas, que los kashais desaparecen.
Yeah. And you see, so one very important thing that we learned today, which is we must keep that as a part of our increasing understanding of our own state. Our own state after Gnanviti is that it is never a burning, it is only a suffocation, you see. And that has been our experience, you see. That has been our experience. And the second thing, which is very important, is that suffocation, coming back to Graham, that suffocation is going to put a veil over the bliss of the self, you see. That suffocation is going to put a little veil, a little curtain over the bliss of the self. And in saying that, Dada is in a subtle way defining the bliss of the self, you see.
Yes. Es mantener para nuestro crecimiento el conocimiento de Gnanviti, que ya no nos quemamos, solos tenemos una sofocación. Y esto fue nuestra experiencia. Esa sofocación pondrá un velo en la dicha del ser. Y así de esta manera Dada define la dicha del ser.
So we will take a little break. And let's take a break, and then when we return, I think we will speak a little bit more about this bliss of the self, you see, because now that has come up in this satsang here, okay? All right.
Vamos a tomar un recreo y después volvemos a hablar de la dicha del ser. Thank you, Shuddha.
All right, thank you.
10 minutes break or
yes, yeah,
switch
that's
game?
10,
Recreo de 10 minutos y volvemos.
Yes. All right. So we continue.
Continuamos.
Yes. You know, the bliss of the self bliss, needs to be understood in what is bliss of the self, you see. Self bliss. And there still continues to be a misconception of this word for Mahatmas, you see. Not Mahatmas who are established for a while in 5 agnas, you see. So they're following the 5 agnas and who have spent a few years in Akram Vignan, more for the fresh ones who somehow continue with an expectation, waiting for that special moment or special feeling or emotion, you see.
Yes. Sobre la dicha del ser, ¿qué es entendido por esto, no? Por la dicha del ser. Y todavía hay como una cierta confusión. Para los Mahatmas, la dicha del ser son los 5 agnas, y para quienes pasamos algún tiempo también, pero tal vez para los más recientes es como que tienen una expectativa de que están esperando sentir determinada emoción o sentimiento.
Bliss of the self is not something that can be compared with anything that has been experienced prior to the Gnana Vidhi, you see, through the mind, speech, and body. Bliss of the self is not an emotion, you see. It is a state of absolute unaffectation, not being affected by anything, you see, is bliss.
No se puede comparar con algo que tenga que ver con la dicha del ser, no puede ser comparado con algo que tenga que ver con la mente, con el cuerpo y con el habla. La dicha del ser no es una emoción, es un estado absoluto de no poder ser afectado por nada.
Yeah, as long as there is an expectation that this is going to come or this will happen, you are setting yourself in a false mode of a false target, you see. Your bliss should not be the goal of a Mahatma. Bliss is the state of a Mahatma.
Yes. Mientras que haya expectativas, estaremos como en un modo falso. Estaremos esperando que algo suceda. Y la dicha no es una meta, es un estado.
It is the state of the awakened one, you see. The awakened one has disconnected from this world of pleasures and pains, and it's pain after pain, and is now in a different world of awareness of the nature of all of this. What is it? You see?
Yes. La dicha del ser no es una meta, es un estado, y es un estado de la persona que despertó y que se desconectó de todo lo que tiene que ver con el placer y con el dolor y el sufrimiento.
Yeah.
Y ahora está en un estado consciente.
There is a very beautiful word called nir. Nir vikalp means without any vikalp, without any I-ness. Nir vikalp means I-ness. You see, I am this. And nir vikalp means you are beyond any I-ness. And then there is this thing called nir. I'm giving you that prefix. Nir means without. And then these are new words, okay? Akurta. Akurta. Now, akurta means easy, uneasy. Akud is easy. Sorry, not uneasy. Akud is easy, and vyakud is uneasy. Uneasy, and beyond easy, easy, comfortable, easy, uneasy is near. I'm writing this down because it's a very important. It is given very beautifully in Aptavani too, but it is important to understand this bliss of the self, you see. So beyond the easy state and the uneasy state in life is the nirakurta, you see. Neither.
Nir quiere decir sin. Akuta es, no es fácil. Vyakud, Akuda es fácil y no fácil. Vyakud no es fácil. Y más allá de fácil y no fácil está Norakudata. Y es el confort y el desconfort.
Yeah, so you see this.
Y el placer, dolor y son efectos.
You know, pleasure, pain, easiness, uneasiness. If you're easy in certain situations, something happens, then you become uneasy. When you're uneasy about something, when things get resolved, you come back to your easy state. Okay, I can relax now. Both of these are relative states, you see. These are this, and the knower of this is nirakud. The knower of this has entered not just the knowing part, because even the people without Gnanvidhi can know, but established as the knower of this, you see, established. Shuddhatma Bhagavan, established, is nirakurta. You see, you're neither easy nor uneasy. These belong to Graham. This belong to Laura and Marcella and Gabi. This is not your state, you see. You are the blissful, unaffected one, you see. And that is called Nirakud state. And that has begun, the Nirakurta. Sorry, go on.
El placer, el dolor, lo fácil, lo difícil, es todo esto tiene que ver con lo relativo, ¿no? Y cuando pasamos por momentos de dolor o de difícil, volvemos al estado de lo fácil, pero todo esto tiene que ver con lo relativo. y Nikurta es el conocedor. Pero incluso hay conocedores que no han tomado en Nanvidi. Si tomaste en Nanvidi, estás establecido como el conocedor del estado de Nikurta.
This Nirakud
Sí.
state, this Nirakud state is actually the quality of the Ama Pura. Nirakud is a state. The Ama Pura is such that it can never be affected by all the pains and the problems of the world or anything. It cannot be burned. It cannot be destroyed. You see, it is eternal, and we have entered into that state. And Nirakud state is 1/8, 12.5% of the bliss of the Siddha Lord in the Siddha Gati, you see, is the complete one, you see. 12.5% of the Siddha Lord, you know. This is Arihant, of course, but the Siddha Lord doesn't have a body. And the Nirakud state is infinite, continuous bliss, infinite, continuous bliss, you see. And that magnificent state has begun within each one of us, Mahatmas, at 1/8 of that, 1/8, 12.5% is our state, my friends. In state of Gonzalo, state of Gabi, state of Cecilia, Laura, you know, Rosie, Luz, you know, just begun. It is there. That Nirakurta is our bliss.
Nirakurta es la cualidad del alma pura, es un estado. Es tal que no puede ser ni quemado, ni destruido, ni molestado. El alma pura, el ser, es eterno. El 12%, el 12,5% es el estado del Citalor, el que no tiene el cuerpo. Es Nirakurta, es el infinito y continua dicha. Y ese estado magnífico es nuestro estado, el estado de Grimm, de Gaby, de Laura, de Rosy, de Luz. Esto ya está, ya comenzó.
So know now that not being affected by anything that happens in this world and that happens to file number 1 is the blissful state, is the self Anant Sukh component. You see, it is the Anant Sukh component. That 12.5 is infinite bliss. It's infinite bliss, my friends.
Sabe ahora que no ser afectado por algo que sucede en este mundo, al archivo 1 le va a suceder, ¿no? Pero no, al ser no, es el estado de dicha infinita, es Anand Sut, es ese estado. Y es el estado de la infinita dicha.
So when you and I say, Hu Anant Sukh Dham, He wo Shuddhatma Chu, I am the abode of infinite bliss. I am such a pure soul, you see. I'm a pure soul that is associated with infinite bliss. This is how it is. You see, your state is such that no, this doesn't happen to you. And this anger is not happening to me. This deceit is not happening to me. This greed is not happening to me. my state is beyond all of this. You see, it is the blissful self, you see. We have heard about all of this in theory even before the Gnanvidhi in books. We had heard about Satchitanand even before we experienced it, but now we are in the experience of it. We are in the exact experience of this. 1/8 is a lot, my friends.
Dice, yo soy alma pura, infinita dicha, y así es como es un estado donde no me pasa ni la ira, ni el sufrimiento, ni nada. Estoy más allá de todo, estoy en el estado de completa dicha, y Satchitanan hemos desconocido, pero ahora estamos en la experiencia.
Yeah, Satchitanand is a small sentence, you see, phrase that is the expression of this, you see, but we have made it very commonplace. You know, you can say Jai Satchitanand, or you can say I am Satchitanand, you see. I am in the bliss of the purity that I am, you see. I am in the bliss of the purity that I am. And now we understand what purity means. Pure gold cannot be stained, doesn't mix with anything. Even in copper, it can be taken out, separated, you see.
Yes. Satchitanan es una oración pequeña y es una expresión, y es la expresión, podemos decir también, de que yo soy Satchitanan, yo estoy en la dicha infinita, yo soy eso. Y ahora podemos entender que nada puede modificar o quitarle algo a este ser que es oro puro, nada puede modificarlo.
Yeah, and you see, so, and we also know that this unaffected state that you are and I are in, you see, this thing that doesn't faze us, doesn't bother us, doesn't stir us up, cannot be compared with any physical, mental experiences of life, can it? It cannot be, you see. It's beyond anything that this world as we know it has to offer us, you see. The world is beautiful, we appreciate its beauty, and we see it passing by, that's about it, you see.
Yes. Es el estado, un estado que no puede afectarse, es inafectado, nada nos molesta y no puede ser comparado con absolutamente nada que tenga que ver con algo físico de este mundo que nos puede ofrecer. Este mundo no nos puede ofrecer este estado inafectado. El mundo es hermoso y lo podemos ver pasar.
Mm-hmm. And this bliss experience is the rise from 12.5%. That was a given. That was done for us in the Gnanvidhi. It rises as we rise in our awareness through the application of the 5 agnas, by being who we are, by being who we are, there is the bliss, you see. But we are not looking for the experience of bliss. We are progressively getting less and less affected by whatever is happening in front of us, you see. We are somehow not touched.
Yes. Esta dicha del ser es la experiencia que surgió en el Gnani del 12,5 y surge 12,5% y surge y nos hace crecer en el conciencia del estado de las 5 agnas, siendo quien verdaderamente somos. Y no buscamos la dicha, progresamos en el camino y lo vamos experimentando.
Yeah. So this is, and just switching to a more fundamental level, this is not something that you can promise to a new one who has not received the Gnani. It's not something that you can make a new person understand. It is something that you and I understand, having come on this side into the self, you see. It is part of the experience of the self, you see.
No es algo que se pueda prometer a alguien que no tomó el Gnani. Nosotros lo podemos entender desde la experiencia del ser, porque hemos venido a este lugar.
Yeah. So yes, what is promised to the new one who comes in is that after the Gnani, he will not be affected by the pains of this life. Pains of this life. And as one rises in the awareness, then even the pleasures of this life will not move you too much, you see. So pains and pleasures, pain and pleasure become, before you are going all over, they become more stable. Pain or pleasure becomes same, samta, That comes later.
Podés prometer que tomando el Gnani no vas a ser afectado por el dolor del mundo. Y cuando la experiencia surge, vamos obteniendo una estabilidad que no es afectada ni por el dolor ni por el placer.
Yes, Vishuddhatma Bhagavan. Does anybody else want to add anything to this bliss thing?
¿Hay alguien que quiera agregar algo?
Quisiera hacer un comentario.
Yes.
Es solo un comentario. Cuando Gaby me habló de tomar el NAN, me habló de la dicha, y lo primero que dijo Marcela es, la dicha infinita. No me interesa la dicha infinita. Qué aburrido, ¿entiendes? O sea, el relativo está tan acostumbrado a sufrir que la dicha infinita le pareció ridícula. Ese es mi comentario.
Well, Marcella is sharing that when Gaby talked her about the infinite bliss, she said, "No, this is I don't care about this. It's impossible." Since the view of the relative, from the relative, we are so used to suffer that we can't believe that infinite bliss could be possible.
Yes.
and good.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yes, yeah. This is, Dadashri has said over and over again over the years to Mahatmas, you have no idea. You have no idea where I have placed you. You have no idea what has happened to you, as you'll come to know. You'll come to know and realize, And that is what our dear Marcella is speaking about, you see. This is beyond words, see. And how can you put this in words, in worldly terms? How can you put this? How can you tell anyone about this? It is simply yours to be, and for yours to complete it, and go permanently into the eternal state of bliss, you see. And it's just going to continue to happen. It's not something that can be stopped anymore. It is an autopilot. It is an autopilot, you see. It's just
Yes.
some people 1 life, some people 2 lives, but it's going. It's just going.
Dale, le dice a los Mahatmas, ustedes no tienen ni idea dónde los coloqué, dónde están. Lo verán y lo experimentarán. Y esto es más allá de todas las palabras, ¿no? Y esto para Marcela, ¿cómo le puedes decir a alguien esta experiencia, esto del ser? Está más allá, mucho más allá de las palabras. Y nosotros estamos en el ser y estamos completando el eterno estado de la dicha. Y esto va a continuar, nada lo puede parar, porque es como que está va en piloto automático.
Automatic, because we have come into the exact understanding of the non-doer, you see. Automatic because it is happening. It is happening. We see what is happening at the relative level, and we are aware. We are becoming subtly aware of what is happening at the real level too. And this is what is happening. The progressive, unaffected state. In other words, you are unaffected. That is your quality. Nothing bothers the pure one, but the fact that you are affected, you're becoming free from such affectations. Before you used to get upset, now you don't, you see. Before things used to get prolonged because you got into it and you started blaming others. Now your unaffected state is associated with the flawlessness of this world too. There is no fault of anyone in this world, you see. It's a very beautiful science in operation, my friends,
Yes. Ahora nosotros tenemos el exacto entendimiento de no hacedor y de qué es lo que está sucediendo. Y esto lo podemos ver en lo relativo y lo podemos ver en lo real. Esto es lo maravilloso de este progreso del estado que no se afecta del ser puro. Ahora no nos molesta y no nos quedamos pegados a las situaciones molestas, dolorosas o que sufren. Y también es poder ver a todo el mundo entero sin faltas. Y esta es la ciencia operando.
Yes. How is it going for Gonzalo? Gonzalo?
¿Cómo está Gonzalo?
Bien, Sudha. Bien está Gonza por acá, escuchándolo.
Yes.
Okay, It's okay, listening.
Yes, listening. Listening, Gonzalo is listening, and the one inside who is awakened is absorbing everything, you see. Yeah.
Gonzalo escucha y el ser interno absorbe.
Yes. Yeah. This is not an examination of anyone, like the university professor or the master or the teacher examining what you know. This is an examination where everyone passes. Dada says everyone passes. Yes.
Esto no es un examen, no es un maestro o un profesor preguntando qué es lo que sabes. Este es un examen que Dada dice, este es un examen que todos pasan.
You know, we have a little time, so I go into a little bit of the next 5 minutes, and let me just quickly go into this next heading, because it is connected to our past heading of kashais, and is connected to the question of Laura, and that started with the questioning of Laura, which is this heading. This heading, it says,
Este título que vamos a ver ahora está relacionado con la pregunta de Laura y con lo que estuvimos viendo hasta ahora.
and I'm trying to give it the exact manifest. The energy will manifest in proportional to the kashais that are conquered.
La energía se manifiesta en la medida que los kashais fueron conquistados.
Proportional to the kashais that are won over or conquered. You know, in other words, if you are victorious over the kashais, then the energies will manifest. What a beautiful sentence, you know, heading. Kashai, to the proportion of the kashai is manifest to the proportion of the, let me correct this spelling, kashai, kashai, proportional to the kashais that are won over or conquered. So,
la energía que surge es cuando se conquistan, la energía que surge es en proporción a los kashais que son conquistados,
yes,
o vencidos, o
now that,
terminados.
yeah. So having come into the discharging kashais, now Dada is talking. Dada says, no matter how or what it takes, no matter what it takes, even if you have to take a beating, even if you have to take a beating, but even if once you win over a kashai, means you conquer a kashai, that means that energy has risen within you. That energy of the victory has arisen within you, has manifest within you.
Yes. No importa, Dada dice, no importa lo que lleve conquistar un kashai. Si conquistas un kashai, esa energía se manifiesta en ti.
Take a beating if necessary, you know, take a beating, but win over the kashai. Win over the kashai means, winning over the kashai means not giving in to the weakness of the kashai, not entering into the kashai, by saying this is happening to me, oh, I became angry. Well, you don't become angry anymore. It is a gusto, it's a mild irritation that is there. You are not you can never become angry, you know.
Dice Dada que podemos darle como un mordisco, ¿no? Al kashaya, pero que no, pero que lo conquistemos, como que no lo dejemos entrar, que estemos conscientes. Es como el Falun Gong entra en eso, y esa es la forma de terminarlo.
You see? Because otherwise it is very difficult to win, Dada says, because it's and you are not going to win in the initial phase. You're not going to conquer this army of kashayas that are standing in front of you just right away. There is no way. You will have to take a soldier by soldier of the other kashaya that arises in front of you and win over it, you see? You see? Otherwise, it's Dadashri says it is easier to conquer an army, win over an army, but it is very difficult to conquer these kashayas that are inside.
Dada dice que que si no, que es difícil ganar, y si tú no ganas no vas a ganar en la fase inicial. No hay forma de que esto suceda. Tienes que ir tomando, como si fuera un ejército, tienes que ir tomando uno por uno los soldados y ganar. Y dice, es fácil ganarle un ejército o una armada, pero no es fácil ganarle a los kashayas. Por eso, uno por uno.
And the other she says that these kashayas, they blind you. They blind you completely, you see. Can't let you see anything, you see.
Dada dice que estos kashayas te ciegan completamente.
Blind you. They blind you in what is blind you? How do they blind you? They take you in the path of the world, in the old ways. Again, they take you into this world of physical, mental existence, you see.
Yes. ¿Y cómo es que te ciegan completamente estos kashayas? Es que te llevan a este mundo físico-mental, a la experiencia de este mundo físico y mental.
Yeah, so then, and the other Shri, so the other Shri says, so the questioner is asking now, the questioner says, I'm going for just a few minutes over. So the questioner says, even if you keep on writing the word kashai, your entire life they are not going to go. You see, and if you are having if you are having another human being in front of you, you can resolve the problem with him in some time or the other. But these kashayas that are inside, they cannot be defeated. The questioner is saying there are two things. The other person around me, I can deal with him somehow or the other, but this kashayas inside, they are not easy to win. You see?
Ella dice que aunque repitas el kashaya no se irá. Por ejemplo, si tienes una persona enfrente, puedes resolver lo que está sucediendo, pero los kashayas no permiten resolverlos.
And Dadashri finally ends this particular paragraph by saying, yeah, what are you talking about? Just this life. Countless lives will go and you will not be able to win these kashayas. Yeah.
No solamente en esta vida, sino en incontables vidas, las kashayas no se irán.
Yeah, so Shuddhatma Bhagavan, we are coming to the end of our satsang today. We've covered two major sections here, and we are ending on page 24. We continue later with this. It's very amazing, subtle stuff, but it's important to understand this. You see. So highest namaskars to all of you. Thank you so much for the questions as well as the comments and the translations. Dear Patricia, doing a wonderful job along with dear Marcella. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Shuddha. Thank you. Thank you, Shuddha. Jai Satchidanand.
Gracias, Marce, Pati.
Jai Satchidanand.
Gracias. Jai Satchidanand.
Yes, everyone. Jai Satchidanand.
Gracias, Shuddha.
Muchas
Jai
gracias.
Yes, and the family. All right. Everybody at
Jai
Luce's
Satchidanand.
place and Carlos and Sandra. Yes. Yes, wonderful. Enjoy the outdoors. Yes, and Arman. Everybody, Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Yes.
Gracias, Patri.
Yes.
Un placer.